So there is this fresh new report out, effectively echoing Wall Street's concerns that inflation just is not easing quickly enough.
Well, prices are falling. We're still seeing a major increase on year-over-year basis, Wholesale prices dropped 0.1% in August. Despite being down over the past month, prices are still up 8.7% from last year. Now, today's report comes after a disappointing consumer price index report, which triggered the stock market's worst day in more than 2 years.
Matt Sapaula joins us now. He's the founder of Money Smart Guy and can help us understand what's really happening. Matt, thanks for being with us. How concerned are you by this latest batch of pricing reports? I mean, I feel as if it depends where you are in the economy that informs your opinions of what these numbers look like, right? How does it look from your point of view?
It looks horrible from my standpoint because, you know, I'm an immigrant family from the Philippines. And I remember my family came here just to make ends meet. And the common person today trying to raise a family. At one point, I was a single father of 3 kids, struggling to make ends meet after serving 8 years in the Marine Corps on the way out of the military. Today's American consumer across the board is spending an average of $460 a month on the same goods and services from things that they bought last year. I mean, think about just food. Grocery prices are up 13.5%. Eggs, which is a favorite Filipino meal, eggs and rice, eggs are up 40%. Rent is up 6.2%. And here's the hard part about it. Wage inflation is not keeping up. Even my fellow brothers and sisters in uniform, they were advised yesterday by the Army to go on food stamps to keep up with inflation.
Really?
Wow.
Wow, I hadn't heard that. You know, yesterday's CPI report also tanked the stock market, and we're seeing a slow recovery from that so far today. So do you have any advice for people who are clearly worried about their 401ks and other investments? And also just put in perspective, when you think about the average American, who actually, what percentage have 401ks? Because I think we believe so many people have them, but in reality, it's still kind of a luxury to even be planning ahead.
Yeah, I mean, because of inflation, it's very hard to have anything left over to plan ahead. And by the way, the basic tenet of saving and investing money is to pay yourself first. And because people aren't making enough money, they can't seem to pay themselves first because in the meantime, people are thinking, survival mode, I got to eat.
Right.
But if you do have a 401k, or if you do have a 401k and it was at a former employer, because the Great Resignation caused a lot of people to go from job to job. If you have not done so yet already, consider rolling over your 401k into an IRA, an individual retirement account, and consider putting that money inside some form of index annuity or fixed annuity, so therefore it doesn't go up and down with the stock market. Portion of it can be still being an IRA that has the upside potential of being in traditional securities and stock market type of investments. But if you can put an index annuity or some form of fixed annuity to have some form of floor and minimum guarantee, that would be something that would be good for somebody not to be worried down the future about losses further in the 401k plan.
And Matt, that's great financial advice. And it seems like the undercurrent of what you're saying is don't emotionally react to the ebbs and flows of the stock market on any given day. Stick to a long-term financial plan. Pay yourself first, build your savings so you can better absorb these shocks when they happen. Before we let you go, I do want to ask you about what's happening with Twitter, because some may see this as confusing. The shareholders voted yesterday to endorse Elon Musk's $44 billion purchase of the company, despite Musk's protests, despite his criticism of the company, despite him saying, hey, the whistleblower speaking out against the company means this deal is null and void. How do you see this playing out for both sides here?
Well, he thinks he's overbuying something for actual Twitter accounts that don't even have a real person behind it. They're bots. And Twitter said, no, we have approximately 5% that are bots, that are fake accounts. And he's laughing at that. Yeah, you kidding me? By the way, I'm nobody. And I have 17 fake accounts following my profile trying to get my followers to get them scammed into Bitcoin and crypto. And I'm nobody. And this is Elon Musk. So he's saying that's laughable. 5%. I'm pretty sure you both have fake accounts trying to represent you too as well, trying to get people into fraudulent things. So to not do a complete audit of actual real accounts versus bot accounts, that's something that he feels that he's overbuying. But at the same time too as well, Judge Kathleen McCormick has been assigned to this court case. In her past, she's actually forced the company to actually buy a company throughout the rift. So this is a no-nonsense judge that say, listen, you might be, the world is watching here because that little case was a cake decorating company. This is Twitter. You and I have got Twitter accounts. Everybody's got a Twitter account.
Yeah.
The whole world is watching this one.
All right. Matt Sapaula, follow you on Twitter.
Under Money Smart Guy. Thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
Take care.
Thank you for having me.